there's no internet, no email at that point in time, so sending away sample pages, photocopies, was like sending a letter to Santa Claus. Started doing it when I was about 15, taking sample pages around, and you know, at that point in time, like most young guys, I didn't understand why they weren't giving me work. I thought, oh, my mom tells me I'm really good. You know, why are these guys being so hard on me? I remember a Wildstorm editor who will go unnamed. He was pretty straight up with me, and I think it was a good thing. I think at the time it just crushed me. Telling me something I needed to hear, but just in the wrong way. As he was like, look, you're 15, I can't give you work anyway. You know, you're not ready, but I can't give you work anyway. After that, in the couple years that followed, I was just assuming, oh, well, they're not gonna give me work until I'm 18, so I guess I'm just gonna show work to other artists. And that's what I started doing. I just started going around bugging artists. Eventually, I met two different editors from Wildstorm, who were working at Wildstorm at the time, Scott Doombeer and Jonathan Peterson, who both kind of took me under their wing a little bit and was like, here, you know, here's my phone number, here's my address, you can send stuff directly to me instead of sending, you know, there's no internet, no email at that point in time, so sending away sample pages, photocopies, was like sending a letter to Santa Claus. Really, like, you know, you were never sure if anybody was ever going to even open that packet. And that's eventually how I got in the door, was at Wildstorm, pretty much through those guys, because they had an intern department that was really unique, I think, in comics. There's nothing like it now, and I'm not really sure anything similar to it existed before. They had an apartment, two apartments at one point in time, and Jim and, you know, I think it was mostly Jim responsible for hiring the guys, was bringing young kids, you know, 18, 19 years old, and they were, you know, paying us very little, but we were living at this apartment not far from the studio in La Jolla in San Diego. And the cool thing was that you basically were not quite working professionally because they weren't giving you comic book work, but you were coming to the studio and drawing sample pages and stuff there at the studio. So they were having us do trading cards, they were having us do toy designs. They were just throwing little odd jobs at us. Almost no one has that experience. So I consider myself pretty lucky that I was able to kind of get in at that time, specifically at my talent level, because I mean, it was like no way I could have done professional work at the time. I think they must have seen something there, but that early stuff I was doing was just dreadful, wretched stuff. So I mean, you know, I consider myself lucky that I was able to burn through a lot of those bad drawings in a kind of secure environment.